And I want to apologize for last week. If you follow my channel on YouTube, DavidB69, you'll notice that I haven't been doing videos recently. For those who know or don't know, I've had concussion issues, and with these concussion issues, I have little issues that basically will give me migraines. And when I get a really bad migraine, it lasts several days. And it basically stops me from doing everything. And I mean everything. I don't feel like doing anything in the world, and it's just really hard to do much. So I apologize. I don't. It's I feel really bad about not being able to do anything. But good news, I'm back on. I'm feeling a lot better. And let's basically see what we want to do. We're 1-1, and all the other teams in our division are 1-1. So I thought to myself, you know what we need to do, Dave? We need to make a trade. So they just like patched the game, and you can do like so many like really creepy and weird things that I figured, hey, why not try one of these crazy trades and make our team better? Now, first off, I just wanted to point out, you can see our cap room is at $58.4 million. It's because when I traded away and I got rid of Wentz and stuff. I basically zeroed out his hit on us, and I also did the same thing with Deshaun Jackson. So we're not taking any cap space hit from them. Now in real life, we would be taking cap hit from them. So am I doing things a little bit below board? Yes. So I'm just basically coming out and saying it. I'm not going to curtail it. So I'm just looking at options. The Bears have a 72 quarterback. Foles. He's really tempting because, well, he led us to the Super Bowl. Got Joe Burrow. He's rather cheap. I'm not really a fan of Josh Allen. I see other people are fans of him. I'm not really a fan of him. Colin Kaepernick. I want nothing to do with that dude. I can't stand him. Baker Mayfield, yeah, he's okay. He's not my kind of quarterback. Tom Brady, definitely in what's called, but he's 44 years old. I don't really want anything of him. Now, Kyler Murray. Now, this is an interesting thought. Trading for Kyler Murray. Now, if I can trade Kyler Murray and if I can get it like a receiver, let's say we try to get DeAndre Hopkins. I mean, why not? This is like all like just out there. And hey, I'm a nice guy. I will give them Case Keenum because I'm just a nice guy. And I'm also a very nice guy. I'll give them like Whiteside. I mean, why wouldn't they want to do this? Let's see what they say. Oh, there's cap issues here. No, I have to use Keenum. I have to get rid of a quarterback. Okay. Okay. Let's see how much. I only have 880. Okay, left. Look, you say your number one need is a right tackle. I'm offering you Toff. I mean, what more do you want? And it's straight out declined. Now, what happens, and this is craziness, if it's like, and it shows you that right now for some reason it's saying I'm going to have the number one pick next year. What if I give you a number 4 pick? Does that sway you any? Look at that. The trade interest level is like a little bar. Okay, so what if we say it's a second round pick? Okay, their interest is like slightly higher. Okay, but what if I give you a first pick that's projected to be a number one pick? I don't know why it would be projected to be number one pick, but let's see. What do they say? Look at how high that goes up. That's insane. Now, if I got rid of Toth, and what if I say, I'll give you the number three pick from the following year draft? Instead of having Toth, you'd basically have Keenum. I'd get Hopkins and Murray, and you guys have all this happiness. Their decline, and they're saying they have no interest in Keenum, which I really can't say I blame them. Let's see. Let's see if I do a second round pick from next year's draft. Would they have any more interest? No. Well, maybe if I just drop him from the equation? No, that doesn't work. Let's see here. Oh. Ugh. I gotta go. Sorry, I'm back. And what is the first and second round draft pick? It's about the same. So what happens? That was from the previous year. What if I say a third round with a third round this year, and I include that, and it's still declined. But if I increase it to a second round this year, wow, it's like really close. I don't want to give back-to-back first-round picks up. It seems like a little bit much. So let's go away from the Cardinals. Let's see here. Let's actually go all the way away. Manual trade. We'll look at quarterbacks here. No, I don't want Herbert. Let's try Mahomes, and we've already had our experience with Wentz. I don't want Dak because it takes away from our division. Matt Ryan's too old. Garoppolo's not worth anything. Minshew definitely not. Darnold definitely not. Stafford definitely not. Aaron Rodgers not mobile enough. Teddy Bridgewater is mobile enough. Is that worth it? I don't know. Cam Newton? Possibly. Could I bring Cam Newton to Philadelphia? I don't know. Derek Carr, no. Goff, no. Lamar Jackson, no. So it's like, yeah, I wouldn't want to do that. Well, he wanted to get out of the Texans, and they did, and they had Phillip Rivers as their backup. So maybe I can do Deshaun Watson. And let's see, who else they have? They have, well, let's just say Cooks. And let's see, I am genuinely generous. I will give them Keenum. And like I said, Whiteside is for sale. And let's see what they say. Okay, it's not even close. So there's not any room to breathe here. I heavily doubt that they're going to take a second round pick. Yeah. And that first round pick, where does it get me? Well, actually, that's kind of interesting. That got me a lot higher than I thought it would. Now, if I take Whiteside out of the equation, and let's say I give him a first and a second this year, does that get me anywhere? Oh my! See, now we're actually thinking about this here. So if I take him out and I make it the second for the next 2 years, does that do the deal? Ooh, no, it does not. But it is interesting. Now, if I take Cooks out of the equation, say the first and a second, and Keenum, would you do that? Okay, they're highly interested in this trade, so that's very interesting. What is it? Let's see. It's like their interest is a left outside linebacker. I really don't have anybody that you're going to be interested in there. Defensive tackle. Do I have any defense tackles? Yeah. My problem is salary, but it's like if I was able to give you Hargrave, Then let's see. We need somebody that's at least 3 million. Okay. Well, maybe I take Don out of everything. I mean, and see what they say with this deal. Would you do this deal? Oh my gosh! Look how close that is. That is so close. Wow. And my only thing is, I do not want to give up first round picks back-to-back years. So I'm going to go back. Let's go back here. I want to upgrade position, quarterback. And I think if we went to the Bears, and let's just throw it out there. I want Nick Foles, but I also want to really up my ante and have Allen Robinson the second as a starting wide receiver. So if I say I wanted that, and then I give you Keenum, and I give you Whiteside, I mean, you're not going to want that deal. Yeah. Now, if I give you a second, you're not going to do that either, are you? No. But if I gave, oops, got to go back, and I was going to do the first, and let's say Keenum. Will that work? Oh my God. Oh my God, it worked. Okay, we got rid of Whiteside. We also lost our first overall. We had also first round pick for this year's draft. It's not going to be a number 1 overall pick. It's just, for some reason, it's what it has it listed as. But we're going to get Robinson, and we got Foles. Let's go. So now what we're going to do, you gotta love this crazy trade logic. So now, depth chart rise. I have Nick Foles as the top QB. I have Robinson as my number 1 wide receiver. I feel really good about this. I mean, this is really good. So yeah, let's go to Oakland. Not Oakland. Well, we're going to Vegas, and let's play Game 3. I've never played in this stadium. I've never seen this stadium, so it should be interesting to see.
Today, from Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas, Nevada, it's Week 3 of the NFL on EA Sports. As we'll see Derek Carr and the Las Vegas Raiders versus Nick Foles and the Philadelphia Eagles.
NFL football has come to Southern Nevada as we are in the menacing new Allegiant Stadium here in Las Vegas. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Philadelphia Eagles and the Las Vegas Raiders. again, everyone. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon. And, Charles, we look at the Raiders here entering play. It's an early test here after 2 losses to start the season, and a game they probably really need.
Obviously, no way do they want to get to 0-3. Not many teams make the playoffs with that kind of a start.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Eagles, they were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that 2nd win in a row.
Sanders first carry of the game, and he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27. Only a couple for him there on the game's first play, and it's 2nd down.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. 11 yards there, 1st down.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations. But a guy of his size, can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a 1st down.
Now Foles. Throwing right, and that's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. This duo locked in, 14 yards there, and a 1st down. They'll run with Sanders. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 11 more yards that go around, a 1st down as well.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run, and let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down, otherwise it's going to be a long afternoon.
Right back to Sanders on 1st down. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. You were telling me this yesterday. This is exactly what they want to do on the opening drive, establish the ground game.
Yeah, remember our conversation? We were talking about what one of the GMs in the league has told me repeatedly. It's a big man's game, and it's not necessarily size. He's talking about playing some big boy football. Line up, get leverage, knock people back, and establish the run early.
He'll have a 1st down inside the 10. And did he get in? No, down at the 1-yard line. A good pickup there, a 22. Well, he did everything but get him in the end zone there, but now they're set up golden opportunity, strong opening drive, and they're knocking on the door.
And the way that they did it, now look where they are on the field, all right? This is naturally set up for a running play, isn't it? But with his ability to throw the football, his accuracy on this drive, you might want to think about a pass play in this situation.
Interesting. Time to find out. They'll try to run with Sanders. And he is not going to get through here on try number 1. They stop him at the goal line. No gain on the play, and it's going to be 2nd and goal. Another shot from the 1 on 2nd and goal. Once again with Sanders. And this time they were waiting for him as he'll be knocked down before he can get back to the line of scrimmage. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
This has not been a fun sequence for him at all. 1st and goal, no gain. 2nd and goal, he ends up losing yardage. He may be trying to talk him into getting the ball 3rd time, but it's going to be difficult for him to win that battle.
CD, you know, so often we talk about quarterbacks holding on to the ball too long. Well, we can't say that there. He had no time to do much of anything.
And this came from the edge, and those pass rushers, they have so many tricks in the trade to get around blockers. They have a lot of tools in their kit. This was pure speed and athleticism on this play, though. And they could barely get a glove on him before he got the quarterback on the ground.
The kick by Elliott is good. And the Eagles, they take a 3-0 lead.
Eagles 3, Raiders 0.
Well, after marching down the field, only getting 3 there, kind of feels like a win for the defense.
And it does. They'll go to the sideline feeling a lot better that they didn't give up a touchdown after the march against them. But if I were the offense, I wouldn't hang my head over that one. That's a good drive, and 3 points will put on the board.
This will make it into the end zone, and he'll just take a seat, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line. The Raiders set to go to work behind their veteran quarterback, and that's Derek Carr.
And I saw that he had an interesting quote in the research packet that we had after last week's game. It's all on me now. I've got to lead my team and find a way for us to win a game. 0-2, but they're at home. I guess he's going to try and find a way to get the home crowd involved early.
Carr and the Raiders come up 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. He'll set up to throw from the gun. And incomplete.
You tell they wanted to get that ball downfield, but they had nothing working in the secondary, so he dropped it off to the running back. That one ended up incomplete.
Carr again here on 2nd and 10. Pressure comes, and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the sack.
All right, partner, I'm going to be Captain Obvious right here. Not the start you're looking for offensively, right? Incomplete pass, followed by a sack.
And when he went down, it looked like that right ankle got turned, but thankfully he popped up okay, and they breathed a sigh of relief on that sideline. He's going to air one out. And that is incomplete.
2 things you can do in that situation: run and punt the football, or try and take your shot at getting the first down. They chose the latter, but they'll have to punt all the same.
On 4th down, A.J. Cole comes on to punt. He punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. That'll go as a punt of 34 yards that time. And this offense will take over right at the midfield stripe with a 1st and 10. Back out onto the field comes Allen Robinson. The early returns for him, very good to start this season. Interesting to see if he can keep up that torrid pace.
Yeah, when you're talking about averaging 100 yards a game as a receiver, extrapolate that over 16 games, and you're having a monster season. So, yeah, you love what he's doing early, but I think it's got to go back to the offseason, doesn't it? It's got to go back to the roots, spending time with the guy who's going to throw the ball to him, spending time watching tape, spending time reading defenses, and, of course, getting himself ready to play.
And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. 16 yards, a 1st down. They're making a real first-quarter statement with a run game, no doubt.
For those who remember old-school football, running it, establishing things, seeing backs find holes, get through them, they've got to like what they're seeing from this unit so far. Right now, they've decided to, as you've said, establish the run game, and they've been successful doing it.
Oh, he got position on him, and he pulls it in. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right and try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a 1st down.
And the coach has decided to throw the red flag. He will challenge this play.
I thought he was in. Oh, he was out. It was really close. It was really bang bang. He was like a half foot out.
The head coach relied on his eagle eye in the sky to make the right call, and was told to challenge it, and it looks like it's paid off.
And from a coach's standpoint, when you throw that flag, it's probably a pretty tense moment. Here it pays off.
Yeah, you have that little bit of indecision. You throw it where you feel like you're right, and then you think, uh-oh, did I get it right? In this case, they can celebrate.
Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down. Well, fair to say that when you're looking at guys that can run like the wind, you often find him at the wide receiver position. And that was special there.
And that's the kind of play where you have to kind of catch your breath afterwards. So just give me a second here, because when he shifted into high gear, he was an absolute blur out there. No substitute for speed. We talk about that all the time. The evidence was right there.
They'll run with Sanders. And he's in. Touchdown, Eagles. Miles Sanders. His first touchdown here in the new campaign. And the Eagles able to push further out in front.
We got a little bit of everything on that run. Offensive line creating some space, but how about the guy running behind his pads into the end zone?
What does that mean when a guy says running behind his pad?
Means that he's going to be a physical runner. That way he's able to use his shoulder pads, his forearms, anything to ward off people to power his way forward.
On for the extra point, Jake Elliott. He's got it, and now it's a 10-0 lead here in the opening quarter. The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And it was Miles Sanders who finished it off with a touchdown run.
Jake Elliott to kick off for Philadelphia.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. This taken in about 4 yards deep. And this will not be brought out. It's a touchback.
25-yard line.
Second drive of the game coming up for this Las Vegas offense. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down. When you're down early, how do you get back in the game, maybe establish the run? I think they're trying to do that.
Now I'm with you on that one, and what I like about the message is that there's no panic from the head coach. He's already told his offensive coordinator, let's run the football, let's get things settled down a little bit and find our way back into this game.
And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line.
Brings up third down.
The Eagles call on the extra defensive back here as they prepare for a stop on third down. Try to run for it with Jacobs. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. That'll make it fourth down after a loss of 1. Plays like we just saw there. That's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. Pulled in at the 24. A nice return there of 11 to help mitigate a good punt. And the Eagles will have it, taking over first and 10. Philadelphia's offense ready to give us another look. They're looking sharp, out early to a 10-zip lead and looking for more as they've got it first and 10. Here's Foles. That'll be caught. Rager with it. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. A gain of 6 there on first.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he get a good head of steam going.
And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. 15 yards on the play, first down. One thing's for sure, this defense has to figure out how to stop the ground game. He's eating them up here in the first quarter.
It looks like they have to go to different forces, aren't they? The conventional things aren't working too well. So I remember a coach of mine saying way back when a back's having a great game, you've got to get the ball out of his hands. See how far he can run without the ball. And what he meant was takeaways, not get loose, because maybe you can't just stop him with just regular tackling.
10-0 the score after one on EA Sports.
10, Raiders nothing.
Second down and 5. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. And his throw is incomplete. Allen Robinson, the intended receiver. And it's 3rd and 5. Prior to that, he had hit his first 6 passes to start the game, so on a nice little run to begin.
It feels like this offense has carried its dress rehearsal into the game. You know, because you do practice it, you do go through it, and in this case, it is clicking.
This is caught inside the 15. And he is going to have an Eagles first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. That gain on 3rd down, good for 28.
Well, things are definitely going right for them here in the first half. Pick it down, any down, even 3rd down, no problem. They get a connection there and pick up a fresh set of downs, continuing to move the ball.
From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10. They go back to the ground with Sanders. He'll get this down inside the 10 for a pickup of about 3. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. The play action fake. They'll look to throw. Trying to get it to Robinson, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Keanu Neal. And he'll be stopped.
I didn't see him until after I threw it. I just totally missed that.
Charles, not only is that an interception, it's one when you were really knocking on the door for a touchdown inside the red zone.
You're actually thinking points. No matter what, at worst, you're thinking kicking a field goal and getting 3. We might look back on this in the second half and say, you remember when they didn't get points on that drive? This could cost them.
Carr and the Raiders come up 1st and 10 at their own 14-yard line. He'll give it to Jacobs to start the drive. And a nice gain there as he'll be taken down just shy of the 20. Now we'll get a stoppage here as it appears we've got an Eagle slow to get up. We'll take a break and get a report from Vegas after this. The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. Working from the gun, it's Carr. And that's going to be too high. Out of bounds and incomplete. Tyrell Williams was the intended target, and it's 3rd down. Charles, we get a look there at the draft class for this offense. What do you make of it?
Well, overall, I like the balance of the guys that they selected because, to me, they got a few guys who can step in and play right away, which is exactly what you want. But they also drafted for the future as well. They've got some guys who might need a year or 2 on the practice squad, so then we'll find out if they can actually play.
Got his connection complete to Ruggs. And he is going to have the Raiders first down. They needed 5 there on 3rd down. He winds up getting 7.
That's a play that will likely be forgotten when you talk about big moments in this game. But plays like this are critical to keep drives going. And if points result, we'll call this play significant.
Carr completes it. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. Now Carr again. And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd. So he's 3 for 7 throwing the football right now. Not an awful start, but also not the sharpest of starts.
No, I would agree with that. But if you're a confident quarterback and to play that position, you have to be.
You just act like there's something wrong with the wind currents or something wrong with the ball. It is not you. Keep throwing. That timing usually develops.
And he is going to have the Raiders first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs.
Let's give a little credit there. The offensive play caller sensed that the screen pass was available. Whenever you're getting a lot of heavy pressure towards your quarterback, that's when you're thinking about running the screen and using that pressure against the defense. And it worked very well there for a first.
That's caught at the 25. And he will score. Touchdown, Las Vegas. Philip Dorsett, 63 yards. And the Raiders have cut it back to within a score. For as big and strong as some of these guys are, especially when you see them in full pads, it is sometimes hard to appreciate how truly fast they can move. That was incredible.
Well, in this league where coordinators worry so much about drawing up the right routes, blocking assignments, misdirections and stuff, they have these precise arrows and movements. Sometimes the best plays just come from the schoolyard where you look at your fastest guy and say, go long. Go get it, big man.
And the final tally, as told by Next Gen Stats, he hit 21.5 miles per hour. Whoa. On is Mason Crosby for the point after. And they're back within a field goal. It's 10-7 now. So that drives 7 plays in length. And it winds up in 6 points for the Raiders. Now after the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away. Fielded a couple yards into the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23.
At their own 23-yard line.
Now back to work for Miles Sanders in the Philly offense. And he's well on his way to a 100-yard game. He's already more than halfway there. We're only in the second quarter.
And what I've always loved about running backs is they'll tell you, I had no idea how many yards I had.
Right.
Those guys have an innate sense of where they are in a ball game and how many yards they've accumulated because you know they're always working towards 100.
He's been working well towards 100 here. No gain, and it's second down.
No gain on the play. Second and 10 at the 23-yard line.
To throw again on second down. Foles looking deep for his tight end Ertz. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's third down.
Early on, the running game's been working well, and the offensive line has been pleased by that. The thought process there, catch those safeties creeping up, trying to help against the running game. They tried to hit them over the top, unsuccessfully.
And Robinson with a big catch. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. A big pickup there for the Eagles' first down, 18 yards.
And there was absolutely zero pressure on the quarterback on that play. Third down, and he has all the time in the world to eventually find an open receiver for a first down pickup.
On first and 10, it's Sanders. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it second and 9.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. A really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
On second and 9, Foles steps away to his left. He's going to take off with it. 6 yards there off the scramble, but it'll still leave him with a third down. And now hang on here, because down on the field and appearing to be grimacing in some pain is the tight end, Zach Ertz. We'll take a break and get a report from Vegas after this. The Eagles on third down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 3. Set up a throw. And that will be incomplete.
Well, they came up with points in their first 2 possessions, but it looks like they'll come up empty here on their third drive. The defense finally starting to get locked into them a little bit. Might have to go a little bit deeper into their playbook on their next possession.
The defense is not leaving the field. They're going to stay out and go for it on 4th and 3. They'll try and throw for it here. And the Raiders have got him. Just not much a quarterback can do there, CD. The pressure was in his face almost instantaneously, led to a very quick sack.
And it appears that this was just a letdown from the offensive line, but they do have a tough job because if you're a big tackle out there on the perimeter, sometimes you don't have the agility to keep up with the defensive end who's looking to wreak havoc in the backfield, and he got there and put his man on the ground.
As we check the next-gen stats, you'll see he had precious little time to do anything with the football there.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown, so a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later, and let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on first down.
And he's going to take this close to the first down markers. He stopped at the Eagles' 25. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues.
Even though they gave up more than they wanted to on that play, it actually illustrates how well they bottled them up throughout the game because that was his longest run of this contest.
Carr defers to Jacobs on the draw. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. That one good for 17 yards, and now they've got it 1st and goal. What makes a draw play like that successful?
Well, we did see where he made the first wave miss, and that was a big part of it, but a lot of it is just being actors back there. Making the defense think it's going to be a pass.
And the Raiders are going to be set up with a 1st and goal. He couldn't quite reach the chalk, but they'll have it at the 1-yard line. Defensively, they must have been expecting a pass. They were in the dime look out there.
I think maybe they were deciding to go with speed on the field rather than bulk. I'm with you, a little bit surprising, but they wanted people getting to the ball as fast as possible.
And he'll take it down to the end zone for a Raider touchdown. Josh Jacobs, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Raiders have taken the lead. CD for them, this has just been an offensive explosion here in the 2nd quarter.
Yeah, held scoreless in the 1st quarter. Now they find the end zone again here in the 2nd. Sometimes you just have to have some patience. A lot of people think it's always an adjustment. You have to change what you're doing. Sometimes you just have to do your game plan just a little bit better, and I think that's part of what we're seeing here.
And he will make it to the 20-yard line and no further.
The Eagles take over 1st and 10.
Now back to work for Miles Sanders in the Philly offense. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the 2nd quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space. Maybe
it's a foot race. He's at the 50, the 30, 10.
You don't like this?
Touchdown, Philadelphia. Miles Sanders, an 80-yard touchdown. And once again, the Eagles are back out in front. One play, 80 yards. Pretty easy drive to recap.
It certainly is, but not so easy to execute. Starting on your own 20, you want something to kickstart your drive and get it off to a nice start. They went for the whole thing and got it. That's a great way to send a message to the opposing team.
And he'll bang that one through. Those are the ones the offensive coordinators dream about. One-play drives from that distance. What an effort. It results in the touchdown.
Jake Elliott to kick off for Philadelphia.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. Fielded in the end zone. And he'll just sit on this one as their drive will start at the 25.
25-yard line.
The offense for Las Vegas about set to begin the drive. There have been points on the board. We just saw back-to-back touchdown drives. I love it. I'm high-fiving our statistician, Christian McLeod, and you're angry. You're a defensive guy.
If you met one of my defensive coordinators, God rest his soul, I'm surprised he isn't in this booth right now wanting to really take you on. This is not football the way he sees it. He wants a good old old-fashioned kicking game, defense, field position, and we're getting an up and down the field game here.
I'll take him. Where's his tombstone?
Boot Hill, baby.
3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting third and about 4 to go.
I think if we put together a job description for a middle linebacker, we would start with being able to hold down things in the middle of the line of scrimmage and be able to take on blockers. But how about the guys who can go sideline to sideline and make plays?
Love a guy that can do that. We saw a perfect example of it right there. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he's going to have the first down, yardage to the 35.
That's good.
5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid gain.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Shotgun now for Carr. Got his man. That's Tyrell Williams. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. A gain of 6 there on 1st.
Timing is everything, and they work on this cut all the time. They work on all the timing patterns, and this time it paid off for them. Worked him to the center of the field, cut it to the outside, ball's delivered, gets both feet down for the completion.
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. You and Jonathan Coachman both larger than life.
No doubt about it.
But you're stuck with me in this booth,
Yes,
and he's miles away and smiling.
And happy.
Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. Again, they'll throw with Carr. He's got a man open. It's Hunter Renfrow. And he is going to have the Raiders first down. They needed 4. He doubled that. He wound up getting 8. A Raider first down, Carr to Renfrow.
And that one was a lot of fun right there because that was the game within the game. 3rd and short, blitz was on. What's the key for the quarterback? Get out of your hands in a hurry. And that was a quick little completion. Got the job done for a first down.
Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Jacobs.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense.
Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
This pass from Carr taken in by Waller. And they'll get this one to about the 20-yard line. 11 more on that one and another first down.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in half number 1. They'll come up now on 2nd and a yard. Carr to throw again. And it's caught. And he can't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. So it's 1st and goal and a great opportunity to get that lead back before the break. They'll run it with Jacobs. And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. Josh Jacobs with his 2nd touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And the Raiders have retaken the lead. That could be an important swing right there. A touchdown in the final minute of the half to take the lead.
And I like the point you just made there. Could be an important swing because now that they have the lead, if they can carry that into the locker room at the half, they'll feel really good about what they accomplished in the first 2 quarters.
On the return, here's the dangerous Cordero Patterson. And able to get this out to the 25.
1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Now back to work for Miles Sanders in the Philly offense. And Charles, you can't really fault him. He's over 100 yards already. He's not the reason they're losing.
And that is really unusual because ordinarily when you've set the tone this way and have run it this effectively, usually your team's in control. So it's a very strange situation. And you're right, you can't fault him. He's done a great job for his team thus far.
Guessing he's saying, feed me on the sidelines. Now will they continue to do it?
That's an excellent play by the defender. He diagnosed that one, closed quickly, and helped force the incompletion.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. On play action, they'll throw. And they'll go back to Robinson. This time he's got him. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 25 seconds to go here in half number 1. They'll look to throw now on first down. He's going to look deep down the field. And it's knocked away and incomplete. Cordero Patterson, the one he was hoping to get it to. And it's 2nd down.
Well, the first 2 drives yielded touchdowns, so there's no reason for them to feel like they have to pull back on the reins. They pushed it downfield, looking for another one right there. Didn't get it, but we know they're going to continue to be bold.
It's caught on the right side by Robinson. Now the Eagles will use the 2nd of their timeouts as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half. And this now 3rd and 11 after that 2nd down completion actually went back a yard. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Coverage by Ian O'Neal.
Now let's see how the offense still out there. They elect to go on 4th and 11. They're going to try and throw. Incomplete. So we reach halftime here in a 4-point game as we send you to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach?
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Time to give you folks at home a look around the NFL on this first official weekend of fall. So let's get to it. We'll get things started up at Ford Field in Detroit, where it was definitely a game with some intrigue, as you can see by the scoreline. Le'Veon Bell, a touchdown run in the victory. Next, we head off to check out another game, and they were winners in that one over the visiting LA Chargers. 28-16, your final. Lastly, let's get you to MetLife Stadium to see what's happening with the Giants at home in East Rutherford. And they were winners in their ball game over the visiting Dallas Cowboys. Saquon Barkley, a touchdown run in the victory. Meanwhile, in our game, no shortage of offense as each team has been able to move the ball effectively. Will the defenses show up in the second half? To find out, we give it back to our commentators, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
It's been a shootout so far. We'll see which defense can make the adjustments as we get back underway in the second half. Taken in the end zone. And we will not see a return to start the half as this will be a touchback. Time again to see Josh Jacobs and his Vegas offense operate. And he's found the end zone twice, and now I'm guessing he's thinking, hey, let's find it 3 times.
And you got to figure from the defensive perspective, how has he gotten there twice? What are we going to do to keep him out for a 3rd time? How do we tighten things down? Because he and his offensive mates, they are really in sync right now.
Carr and the Raiders come up 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Off of play action, he'll look to throw. Rush coming, and he's taken down.
Well, partner, we know they came out of the locker room down on the scoreboard. That will guarantee you the defensive side of the ball got super emotional. emotional. They can come out and play with aggressiveness, with fury, because they don't have to be quite as precise. And it paid off for them on that play, didn't it?
Sure did. Excellent play, really setting the tone for this third quarter. And they will not get the connection there. It's incomplete.
Well, as we get ready for third down, let's go back and recap here. The sack on the first play of this drive, that threw a wrench in what they were trying to accomplish because they were compelled to throw the ball on second down. A running play was not in the works. And that incompletion set up another passing down here on third and long.
And Waller taking it in over the middle. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. 14 yards is the pickup there, but it'll still lead to a fourth down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
Just 34 yards on the punt there, no return. And out will come the offense as they take over. So here are the Eagles now as they get set for their first possession of the second half. And last time they were very fortunate, this offense. They went for it on fourth, turned it over in their own territory, but the other guys held up. They didn't give up any points.
So how about the guy with the #1 headset on the sidelines, the head coach? That was planned going into it, not necessarily to not get the first down or to have the defense have to hold.
But he trusted his defense.
Trusted his defense very much, and I think that's how he's going to play this game. Go for it, be aggressive, because I've got the wild bunch backing me up over here on my own sideline.
Now we'll see what his offense can do. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. They start on the ground here at Sanders. And he's going to be taken down with a marker on the field. So let's see about the call.
Offense.
So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
They'll set up to throw. This ball complete to Rager. If they didn't have that penalty a moment ago, it'd be a first down. Still a nice 13-yard pickup.
Brings up second down at the 35-yard line.
On second down, it's Sanders. It'll go as a gain of 7 on the play, and it sets up a 3rd and inches situation.
Well, if you like the guys who run the ball, you're enjoying watching this. But the other guys, especially the defense coordinator, trying to figure out an answer on how to slow down the running game, I think maybe starts to call more blitzes, because you can call run blitzes in order to try and get more people to the point of attack.
And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. 10 yards there and an Eagle first down.
Well, it certainly has to feel good. It's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice first down. Drive keeps moving.
Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down.
Well, at the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back down and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
First down, Philadelphia.
Now Foles. Man open is Robinson. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop it. 23 yards, the final tally.
I love the drive they're working on here because they know they can take the lead with a touchdown. And so far on this drive, so good. They've moved the ball down the field with very little resistance defensively. But they better be prepared for some adjustments to come their way now.
On first down, it's Sanders. He's going to get 4 out of this as he's down to the 10-yard line. Now it looks like we've got a Raider here, slow to get up. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. We'll take a break and get a report from Vegas after this. Another run with Sanders. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line.
The tackle made at the 3-yard line.
We don't talk about it very often, but sometimes there's a dip in intensity when you start the second half, which can manifest itself in some sloppy tackling. And how about right there? He ran right through that weak tackle attempt.
They're going to try the jet sweep. Robinson with it. And he will take this one in for an Eagle touchdown. Allen Robinson, his second touchdown on the season, as his guys are able to regain the lead. Well, we've talked about it before. You know, this jet sweep, something a lot of teams like to run nowadays, and this one winds up in the end zone.
And it is all about creating different ways to get the ball in the hands of your playmakers. And wasn't it interesting that prior to this game, the head coach told us, I saw this sitting at my chair watching a Tuesday night college game and decided to implement it myself.
And it's up and good. So that drive, 80 yards, 9 plays. And it ends with a 3-yard scoring run.
Jake Elliott to kick off for Philadelphia.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. Now this will make it into the end zone. And no effort to bring this one out. It's a touchback.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Raiders offense now, they trot back out. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play. Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 11 yards there, first down.
You don't always expect tight ends to be big in terms of run after the catch, but after that play, he joins a growing band of players that's putting that stereotype right on its ear.
And not much there at all. Maybe a yard up to the 43.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
On 2nd and 9, Carr. Looking left sideline, incomplete.
On the throwaway. It's now 3rd down.
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Carr with a play fake to Jacobs. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
He went with the dive look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. 35 yards that time on the punt, and the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Now Allen Robinson and company gearing up to go again on offense. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. How many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this? But it's usually not by himself, is it? Right. Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
Now it looks like we've got a Raider here, slow to get up. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. We'll take a break and get a report from Vegas after this. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
They'll run on first down. Sanders. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Well, I think after that run, the defense is getting back in the huddle and looking at each other and maybe starting to question their confidence a bit. They gave up a significant run, 6 yards, and now you're saying to yourself, How do we stop them? And do I have enough confidence to make a play?
Now a pass hauled in downfield. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. 27 yards there, a first down.
Nice job there of utilizing his big target.
There's no way that was in bounds.
Understands the catch radius, understands that he knows
He caught the ball like 5 feet out of bounds. Look at this. Caught it and landed out of bounds. It's not even close. They have to challenge this. I mean, there's just no way they're going to let this go.
So here, the men in charge are going to be looking at whether or not the receiver had possession of the ball as he went out of bounds.
And they have to make sure that the receiver got both feet down in bounds as well.
Sure, as a coach, when you throw the flag, you hold your breath, then you get the verification you were right, a sigh of relief.
Not only a sigh of relief, a little vindication as well, because every time you pull that red flag and throw it, you could be costing your team a timeout.
Foles. Open man, it's Rager. He's got it. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Offense.
Now that's one they hate. The ball's got to come all the way back.
So that's an explosive play, a really explosive play that gets wiped out, and they have to start over after the penalty.
The play action fake. They'll look to throw. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Able to convert on 3rd and 14. A terrific play call.
We often hear the phrase short-handed tight ends, and he certainly fits into that category. Plus, he's got a quarterback who knows to look his way when they need a big pickup. And on this play, he finds him for the first down.
Now he's going to swing this one out to his running back. 3 yards the gain there, 2nd down.
Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. But linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Foles, incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call. So a holding penalty, and that'll send him backwards.
You know they're trying not to do that. I mean, we know that, right? We talk to them all the time. But sometimes the defensive guys just put you in awkward situations, and you get caught grabbing their jerseys.
Here's Foles. And he comes back with one complete. And he'll get this all the way down inside the Vegas 20. 39 yards the distance covered on the catch and run.
I think if you asked them truthfully, they would have been happy to get 8, 9, maybe even 10 yards there and give a manageable 3rd down attempt. Instead, he found plenty of room there on the catch and run and turned 2nd and long into not just a first down, but a huge play.
So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on 1st down. Now Sanders. And he'll be stopped after a gain of only a couple down to the 15-yard line.
He's brought down at the 15-yard line. A gain of 2 brings up 2nd and 8.
And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. 8 yards to go on 2nd down. They'll look to throw. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down.
And that's one of those plays where it's hard to keep 2 eyes on the football when you know the contact's coming, let alone getting 2 hands around it, hugging it to your body, and absorbing
So it'll be incomplete. Certainly one they'd like to have back as it brings up 4th down. So decision time now, because a field goal keeps it a one-score game. What are you thinking?
Well, I'm looking at the down and distance, and that's where the issue comes in. It's not short enough that it's a no-brainer and you go for it. You have to analyze this one. To me, you take the field goal, take the points. I don't think you want to risk coming away with nothing.
So they get the 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough?
Excellent question, because when I look at the smiles on that side of the field, they're a little tight, aren't they? If they had scored a touchdown there, those would be big half-moon grins right now because they feel a whole lot better about their position.
And a touchdown in the other direction, all of a sudden they're down.
At their own 20-yard line.
Here's Las Vegas ready to take the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Here's a throw out wide, complete to his running back right side. A good rally to the football keeps him to only a yard, and it's 2nd down.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it can turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Carr. And too much juice. It'll be out of bounds, incomplete.
We've seen that the deep ball's been a part of their game plan all afternoon, but they've had trouble hooking up on it, unable to successfully find the end zone over the top.
Throwing his Carr on 3rd down, and he fires one that's intercepted. Darius Slay with a pick.
Intercepted by the Eagles.
Well, this had trouble written all over from the start. He's got 2 extra defensive backs in the game he's got to deal with. They're in a dime set. So everywhere he's looking, he's seeing a different color jersey. And sure enough, this one winds up being intercepted.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. They'll try and start this drive in the air. And down he goes. Brought down a Raider sack. Oh, and after the sack, he's still down on the field. We'll take a break and get a report from Vegas after this. Throwing on 2nd and long. Foles. And his throw here's incomplete.
I didn't like the look of that play right from the beginning. I thought he should have seen the coverage that was there, tried to force it in. That one, he's fortunate, just fell incomplete.
The Eagles on 3rd down. They're at 50%, 4 for 8. This will be 3rd and a mile. Back to throw here. A bullet throw, but incomplete.
The coverage was good, but I just wonder if they absolutely fooled the quarterback on that play. I think he was expecting something else. Ended up with nowhere to throw the football successfully.
He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. And that one hits at the 7, but bounds into the end zone, and that'll be a touchback.
20-yard line.
Derek Carr getting ready to go again on offense. And the interception that ended their previous drive, that might be one we look back on and say that was the turning point of this game.
Hey, partner, guess what? There's still time for a few more turning points in this ball game. They're only 1 score down.
Yeah, true. We could have some twists and turns. Stay tuned. Now, the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
So much for the best laid plans and best designed plays. That was good coverage along the sidelines. No place for that one to get in there. It sails incomplete.
Now a man open down the middle of the field. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. 23 yards the pick up there.
And here we are in the 4th quarter, partner, and we watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there. Not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
And that is incomplete.
There is something to a game plan when trying to keep a defense honest. With a guy with that type of speed, you do so. Send him deep, try and throw some air under it, and hope you connect downfield. On that play, they were unsuccessful.
Carr Carr's throw going to be caught by Renfro. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a third down.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
The Raiders on third down. Not quite 50%, 4 for 9. This will be 3rd and 6. Again, they'll throw with Carr. And this is going to be incomplete.
Thrown away and incomplete.
Here's A.J. Cole now as he's on for the 5th time here today. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. That'll go as a punt of 32 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Back out onto the field comes Allen Robinson. Let's see here, Charles. 6 catches, over 100 yards. Call that a pretty good day at the office.
And I love the accumulation. The catches, the yardage. That means he's having a pretty good impact on this ball game and really helping his team out in a big way.
Means he wants the football again, right?
And it's funny because some of these receivers are very vocal about how much they're getting it. Others are quieter, but they still let you know. Give me the ball. I'm going to make a play.
Eagle 5 brings up 2nd and 5 at the 31-yard line.
Another run here with Sanders. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Now we have Kelsey, slow to get back to his feet. Appears to be shaken up. We'll take a break and get a report from Vegas after this.
That's not good. He's walking through walls, folks.
They'll look to throw here on 1st down. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
Normally you think the tight end's going to be able to catch the football and handle that contact, but in this case, maybe a little too much target to hit. That one was timed well. Incomplete.
On 2nd and 10, Foles. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And he's going to have another 1st down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 42. 17 yards on the pickup there, and the drive will continue.
Well, that should be a reminder defensively, and I think it's a reminder to myself because you just can't sell out to stop the run. There's still enough time that this offense can move the football through the air, even on 1st and 2nd downs, and they obviously picked the right spot to throw the ball there.
On 1st down, it's Sanders, able to push forward for about 4 down to the 37. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. And carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
They'll run on 1st down. It's Sanders. And he'll take this inside the 30 to about the 29, maybe the 28-yard line. And on the stop defensively, Raekwon McMillan. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Here's Sanders. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. It'll be a gain of 5, but still about 3 yards shy of the 1st down marker, and now it's 3rd down. The recipe's pretty simple, I think, right? Just give your superstar the ball, continue to feed him.
Yeah, don't overthink this one, right? Make sure he's touching the football, but you're also counting on his intelligence and playing the game as well. If it's not there, don't force the run. Just make sure you hang on to the football and keep the clock ticking.
Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. 23 yards for the touchdown. And the Eagles add on to their lead.
On that third down call, the goal was to get the ball to their tight end and pick up a first down, but he wasn't satisfied with just that. They got the first down. That was the gravy. He decided to take in the whole meal and rumbled in for a touchdown.
Now that Eagle offense will stay out there as he'll go for two. Foles will look to throw. And he's going to go down. Sacked back at the 13-yard line.
Well, they tried to get two and ended up getting none because the quarterback had nowhere to go with the ball and ends up getting sacked.
Nowhere to go at all. Great job, though, defensively. They were ready. Taken about 7 yards deep. And this will not be returned. It'll come out to the 25. Derek Carr getting set and ready to go again on offense here. And the stats on the screen tell the story. A great start. This defense, they made some good adjustments, though. He's fallen off since.
Have to like what they did at the half, but you also have to like the fact that they hung in there. Despite the fact they had a tough first half, he was locked in, right? And rocking and rolling. They came out and made their adjustments, got their confidence back. Now they're causing them all sorts of trouble.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
They're down 2 scores, and they need a quick one to try and get back into this one. That was one way to try and get it done. Unsuccessful in the attempt, but they have no choice but to keep trying.
Now a deep ball there on second down, but it'll wind up incomplete. Darren Waller, the intended receiver, and it's third down. Working from the gun, it's Carr. And he's got the hook up to Ruggs. And he's going to come up a bit short. He needed to get to the 35 for the first, but he only makes it to the 34.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Davion Taylor, and the Eagles are going to take over in great field position. So still over 3 minutes remaining in this game, but boy, not getting that when that hurt.
That's a little bit demoralizing, so they have to be careful about that because still have an opportunity if they can get some things done on defense. But now, since they've taken over on downs, a team with the ball, guess what? Going to 4-minute offense, maybe they can put this thing away.
5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Brings up 2nd and 5 at the 20-yard line.
They'll go again with Sanders. And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1. The Eagles on 3rd down. They've hit on half of them, 5 for 10. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. They'll try and run for it with Sanders. And he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line.
The tackle made at the 6.
No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the 4th quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
And now we'll see a timeout used on defense as they stop it right out of the break with 1:57 to go in the ball game. Have to imagine this will be on the ground as well as they come up 2nd and 7. That one looks like he'll throw here. The quick slant caught. And now with 1:52 to go, we get another pause in the action. A timeout here defensively. A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play. 3rd and goal. They'll try to run with Sanders. Now the Raiders going to burn their 3rd and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. I guess not content to get another 3 here late. They'll try to add 6 more as they go on 4th and goal. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Picked up by Carl Joseph. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. 2-score game here in the 4th, and that pick, it kind of keeps the door ajar, doesn't it?
It does, and you wonder about their strategy because with a 2-score lead, you would think maybe you're just sitting on it trying to drain some clock. It's almost like they felt like, hey, we've got a good cushion. We can keep pressing it. It ended up costing them.
And incomplete, a drop there in the middle third of the field. That'll bring up 2nd down. To throw again, Carr. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. Shotgun now for Carr. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And he'll be out of bounds right at the 40. And that one results in 35 yards. Now, that'll help get you out of danger. So much for playing it conservatively back towards your own goal line.
That aggressive mentality, sometimes you can use it, and they did there against a defense who probably thought to themselves, there's no way they take a shot here this deep in their own territory.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 4 yards. On 1st down, Carr. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
They've given up a few first downs on this drive, but getting the incompletion there, that should give them something to build on and maybe turn the tide.
They fake the handoff. Now Carr. Pressure, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back right around the 44. Now a play fake. Carr. He's going to let it fly. And unable to connect. Incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. So with that, we can just about close the book on this one, Charles.
Yeah, what's the old expression about slim and none? Well, Slim just left town on that
They're
one.
down to none?
Yes, exactly right.
Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And they've got this one in hand. No timeouts remaining defensively, so this one should just be one kneel and then handshakes. It's caught on the right side by Robinson. And he's taken down inside the 30. A big pickup there, and without question, that should be more than enough to wrap this one up.
Philadelphia.
Now Foles. He's going to drop this down to Sanders. So it's a victory here for the Philadelphia Eagles. And it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the second quarter. Do you think they thought at all that that would be their last points of the game?
No, but what a second half. The adjustment, whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly did, and you're exactly right. Whether it was an adjustment, whether it was just more focus on what they planned to do going in, whether they just played better, whatever it was, it all came together in the second half, and no points were allowed. That's a great way to close them out.
So for Philadelphia, it's back-to-back victories now after the Week 1 defeat as they move to 2-1. And they'll have another road date next week with the New York Giants. Meanwhile, for Las Vegas, the early struggles continue as they'll sink to 0-3. And they'll try to get back on track next week as they head to Dallas to take on the Cowboys.
And the funny
Upgraded
thing
guns,
is,
certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.
both interceptions were my fault. It had nothing to do with Nick Foles. I misread the first coverage, the second coverage. I actually threw just, if they intercepted it, they intercepted it because I knew that if they got it, we'd tackle them right away and they'd be deep in the territory. So it wasn't a loss for me. So it's one of those things where you take the good and bad and you basically just try to average it all out. Anyways, until next time, this is David B69, and I hope you're enjoying the new look version of the Eagles. Until next time, this is David B69, and I'm out.